Welcome back to another episode of Is Capcom Run by Unfeeling Androids? Today's topic, why do they have no actual concept of whether they've made a good game? These guys will fiddle around and just accidentally build masterpieces, right? Legitimately some of the best horror experiences of the last 20 years, and then their next project will demonstrate that they completely misinterpret what it was that made their last game amazing in the first place. Then they look at the data and realize they need to pivot or risk being shut down by the Japanese government, and they'll create another high-quality work of art, only to repeat the cycle yet again. Do you see what I'm saying? This is textbook machine learning. Humans do not operate this way. But the good news is that humans are typically much less consistent, so the end result is a very entertaining catalog of games despite the obvious peaks and troughs. The multiplayer side of Resident Evil is where the balance between the two becomes a lot less rhythmic. Outbreak is generally considered to be quite a little gem. I can't personally speak authoritatively on that topic, however. Resident Evil 5 is absolute absurdist gold, I don't care what you all say, and Resident Evil 6 is Resident Evil 6. I played Umbrella Corps, and I played that pile of garbage that came with RE3. They're not very good. My hopes for Reverse were non-existent. My expectation was that I wasn't going to get into a functioning lobby, and I wasn't really going to care. But this is actually kind of a blast. The primary downside is that they've packaged it in the most autistic way possible, making it so inconvenient to play that it's going to be dead before long. And if you're perusing the Steam review page for Reverse, you're going to see a lot of thumbs down from a lot of people that couldn't be bothered to play the game for an hour or a half hour. Very little in the way of critiquing, and quite a lot in the way of vague whining from people that simply hate the game on principle. And I'm not saying my opinion is any better than anyone else's, but at least I played the fucking thing. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Reverse is a 6-player free-for-all starring the majority of the mainline Resident Evil protagonists, along with a selection of monsters, some of which are iconic, and some of which nobody on Earth was really asking for. But that's okay, because when Fishboy turns on the throat, he's unstoppable.
Gotta have them ribs.
It's pretty straightforward. Short and chaotic free-for-all matches between iconic Resident Evil characters, all of whom have a unique loadout and skills, the seminal trait being Reverse's absolutely wild death mechanic. Health, ammo, special weapons, and these little purple vials are all pickups around the map, the last of which are instrumental in deciding which monster you're going to turn into when you inevitably get cross-mapped by Ada Wong. If you die before you found any vials, then you transform into a fat molded from RE7, who fucking sucks. If you pick up one vial, you'll either become a Hunter Gamma or Jack Baker, both of whom are entirely capable of clobbering human players that let you get too close. If you pick up 2 vials, you get to play as Nemesis or Super Tyrant, who can essentially hand you a lobby wipe if the opponents don't pay attention and gang up on you. It's a pretty beautiful little system. And I know the primary concern for people when looking at a competitive shooter, other than is it fun, is it balanced? And after many hours and a taste of every character, I can confidently say, I don't know, but I mean, probably not. Hunk and Chris are the outright easiest to use, so you'll see a lot of them. Leon's loadout really rewards being hyper-aggressive, while Jill and Claire are best equipped for controlling the battle space. And Ada has huge damage and stun potential, but requires probably the most finesse out of everyone. But really, the damage output for everyone is quite high. This is not a tactical fucking check your corners and pre-fire kind of shooter. It's 5 minutes of absolute chaos, kill everything that moves. It's a matter of who sees who first and who's playing on mouse and keyboard. Now getting into the second-to-second gameplay, there's a couple things we'll probably want to go over if you're hoping to get some chicken dinners. Firstly, there is no assists or points for damage system in place. Everything goes to whoever lands the killing blow. This means if you like winning, you better like being a rat. Look for openings to steal the kills of others. Secondly, because the game is bad, you get a few seconds of total invincibility when respawning as a monster or a human. But that's not the bad part. The bad part is that this invincibility doesn't turn off if you start attacking. That's right, so if you come back as anything other than a fat molded, and other players didn't run away as soon as you died, you've just been handed free kills. This also means that you shouldn't be trying to camp the players you kill and engage them in a fair fight. I recommend letting their monsters find a different target and then resuming the rat strategy. It's not going to appeal to everyone, I realize. Even considering the very unique and I think very fun death mechanic, this is a simple game. Along those lines, it's been criticized for a lack of content, and there's no denying that you won't exactly be swimming in shit to do with this one. There's the aforementioned 6 characters and 5 monsters, the single free-for-all game mode, and 2 maps to play on. The first map is a lightly modified rendition of the police station from the RE2 remake, and the second is a highly modified rendition of the Baker House from RE7. Both are very well suited to the gameplay, a good mix of open areas and tight corners and cover. Aesthetically, we already know that both areas kill it. The visuals in the game overall are obviously rock solid, right about on par with the RE3 remake. You might be looking at this screen wondering what's wrong with the colors, and that's just the comic book filter that comes standard. You can turn it off whenever you want and return to traditional visuals, but I actually found myself liking it. And I've seen a handful of folks, not many, complain that the game isn't scary, so let's put that topic to rest. Is Resident Evil Reverse a horror game? No. Fucking obviously. Can we manage our expectations a little bit as a species? Another area of contention that fans have is the game's monetization and battle pass. Paying money can grant you content beyond cosmetics, which I agree is never the best way to handle a competitive game's DLC. A counter, however, would be that you can fully outfit your characters with all the upgrades you want incredibly quickly in this game. Like, the quickest I have ever seen in a game by far. We're talking 2 or 3 matches to build a full loadout for a character, and 3/4 of the traits you buy for one character carry over to all others for free. It's a generally very generous economy. If paying for the Battle Pass offers a head start, it's so minuscule that I really cannot be bothered to give a shit. But like I said, I fully understand where people that hate that shit and are tired of battle passes are coming from. If you've already pretty much decided that you hate this game, I doubt that me saying, hey, trust me, bro, is going to change your mind. I've probably just made you dislike me. But if you've been on the fence, or if you had no idea this existed, especially if you already own Village and have this sitting in your library, just check it out. I mean, you'll probably have fun. And if you don't, you can come back here and personally insult me in the comments section. No hard feelings. I'll talk to you guys later.